What he should have simply done was to respond. Saying that Misoi was not served is immaterial in this case. Misoi works under him. If he has the application, he cannot be accusing Misoi of not being served when he has seen the application. He has had it from last week. The police officers here are under him, all of them. He cannot run away and delegate responsibilities when it's convenient and assume that responsibility when it is also convenient. Mr. Mwenga had a chance to respond. I even called him. I was courteous enough. I met Mr. Misoi. I called him. They were telling me to go to Mirangini police station, some Kyogoini police station over there, when those vehicles are parked here at the DCI and at Kasarani police station. I've even given them the original logbooks. What more reason do they have? Now, he wants to go for those third parties. Does he know where they are? Does he have instructions from them? Are they his clients? Your Honor, this is what we call a game of musical chairs. With Mwenga presiding as the perfect musician. Don't allow me an inch on this.
And these people they are now calling Mungiki or illegal organization will choose the next leaders because they are the majority. And they will teach them the political lessons.
Yes. That their phones are still with the police. It's been a month, and if there was any forensics or investigatory bit on those phones, it is long overdue. Those are the phones they use as a means of livelihood, their sources of income. You know that M-Pesa is the most common sourcing now. Mr. Ndieke has mentioned some of them are hustlers. They need to get sources of income through those phones. Our client Maina Njenga's phone has also been taken. If there was anything to be traced in them, one
issue of the phone is not captured in the application.
It is not captured in the application. I'm making it ancillary to the substantive motion. Also, apart from the phones, I've also been told their IDs were also taken. Your Honor, in cases, as you did practice here before, you sat where we were sitting, where passports are taken, they are normally submitted to court. I've never had IDs being taken. These guys can't even walk here freely, because they will be arrested the next moment for being unidentified. And it would make sense if it was a passport, because travel then becomes an issue. It has not been stated that they are flight risks. And this court has already pronounced itself on bail. So there is basically no ground, unless there is a cited violation, as to why they should not have IDs to enable them process their basic life operations every day. I trust even you, when you got into this court, you probably had a judiciary ID. We have LSK IDs. The journalists here have the fourth estate IDs we identified. The DPP, my colleague here, and Ms. Omega, they all have IDs. The police here have IDs. Permit them to have their IDs. Thank you. And if there are any exhibits that are to be produced in this case, mostly forensics, the ballistics in reference to the first accused, and narcotics, any government chemist report, we pray that we be supplied with the same to enable us prepare our defense and to articulate our concerns and when we are called upon. Also, in reference, before we conclude, Your Honor, we note that most of the witnesses from the introductory level are police officers. If you're going to give us a hearing date here from, I suggest that you give us compacted days to avoid this scene of my friend, the CCI, having to deploy a lot of police officers in court. These police officers have to do other things and other businesses. And I know as the year spans out, they will probably be deployed to exams, to other security operations, and would not want to eat into rare and scarce public resources. They should be deployed elsewhere. And all the police officers, if their witnesses, be bonded to enable us proceed in one tranche. It's also very costly to bring our clients here all these times and probably face adjournments. We want to hear the case against them, and we want to conclude it earnestly. So I do request that all witnesses be bonded when they are called upon, and we do have contracted days, possibly 3 days consecutive, depending on your calendar and that of the state. Your Honor, my learned colleague here has responded articulately and said that affidavits belonging to third parties are not being given. And you did pose a challenge to him, whether he actually read that application. One of the vehicles belongs to the 12th accused.
Is that a rejoinder?
It's a rejoinder. It's a rejoinder.
Mr. Omana, were you done respecting the application raised earlier?
Your Honor, with respect to the applications, I'm done.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, just say for the one he was trying to
Say the
make
one-
for the amendment to the charge sheet. We need to be fair to him. Now, the 12th accused is a party. He doesn't even need to make an affidavit. As long as he says my vehicle was impounded. They have not shown anything to show this court why he should not be given back his vehicle. And in this charge sheet, in all its charges, there's no nexus between his vehicle and the charges. And you did ask correctly, what role do these vehicles have in these charges? He didn't answer. That's an admission that they have no role whatsoever to do with those vehicles. That these vehicles belong to third parties. One of the affidavits I've given you in extenso is by Maina Njenga. That's a third party before court. I got instructions from him and I've submitted before this court an affidavit. They have not rebutted that position. I've given you another company called Base Limited and its directors. I've given the logbooks. It wasn't my role to supply the logbooks. It was their role to investigate when they came to court and sought time to detain. They detained our clients. Before Honorable Builder, they were given 3 days after seeking 7 days. What were they doing with those 3 days if it was not to investigate and probe? And most vital, one of the things Missouri stated to the court while he was standing there was that they want to investigate those vehicles. Your Honor, from 12th to 19th, they had time. From 19th to date is another 1 month. They have had time. Instead of explaining to you what they have done, they are telling you we've not seen them, yet they are responding. And I was clear from the outset that the only way he can respond is from the bar, because he had not submitted anything before this court. Being uncontroverted, the entire motion is actually it. He knows the rules. He should play within those rules. Now, regarding the third parties, any other third party, I've shown where and how they are related to those vehicles. What he should have simply done was to respond. Saying that Misoi was not served is immaterial in this case. Misoi works under him. If he has the application, he cannot be accusing Misoi of not being served when he has seen the application. He has had it from last week. The police officers here are under him, all of them. He cannot run away and delegate responsibilities when it's convenient and assume that responsibility when it is also convenient. He wants to amend a charge sheet, supposedly to keyword the mistakes in the charge. Because they've been on a fishing expedition while trampling on these people's rights. We are not going to allow them to do that. We should tell them outrightly that there are rules to play within and they must be subdued beneath those rules. Mr. Mwenga had a chance to respond. I even called him. I was courteous enough. I met Mr. Misoi. I called him. They were telling me to go to Mirangini police station, some Kyogoini police station over there, when those vehicles are parked here at the DCI and at Kasarani police station. I've even given them the original logbooks. What more reason do they have? Now, he wants to go for those third parties. Does he know where they are? Does he have instructions from them? Are they his clients? Your Honor, this is what you call a game of musical chairs with Mwenga presiding as the perfect musician. Don't allow him an inch on this. Lastly, I prayed for the forms. The numbers are here. They are not even disputing that they didn't have the forms. They're only saying that he was not aware. He needs time. Which time does he need? He has had all the acres of time and the space to do that. If he's given time and he reopens these issues as we have done them, how will I respond? We are officers of the court. We are advocates, Mr. Mwenga. We must play utmost fidelity to the law. We are not going to run in a crowd like bulls fighting for space. We are officials and officers of this court. We must maintain fidelity to this process. If you are called, I took my time to call you, and I took my time to inform you as much. You should have been as courteous to me when I was making fair efforts,
Mr. Rico.
they are a bit irritating. Your Honor, let's raise the application. It is unchallenged. Okay. The application is unchallenged, and I do request that you order Ms. Soy to release the vehicles to me for
Your Honor, I have to defend Mr. Mwenga because Omega is just a messenger. This thing is bigger than him, and for sure we know he cannot be making the decisions. The decisions are made high up. That's why we want people with the highest responsibility, like Rigathi Gachagua, to come here and tell us. We are not going to wait in the bush. So, Your Honor,
yes,
just to support what my learned colleague has said,
yes,
if the vehicles and the mobile phones are not the experts in this case, then they have no business holding them. And it is as simple as that. If they are experts, we are not interested with them because we will wait until they are produced. If they are not, let them release them now. But if they are not and they keep them, you've taken notice. Because you are the trial court and you know what to do. They cannot turn around later to claim that they are experts. So they can't have their cake and eat it. Your Honor,
yes,
on the issue of careless pronouncements from the Deputy President, it's a matter of public notoriety. It is a matter of public notoriety, and we have that tape. If you want, we can produce it. I have watched the tape, and he says that the ninth accused has 9 palatial homes in Kenya. Our question is it a crime to have a home? Is that a crime? Let them tell us which law has criminalized owning homes. Somebody can have us minimum. So, if it's challenged that, it is a matter of public notoriety, and we urge the court to take judicial notice of that tape. It is widely circulated. Secondly, I have the details of the phones. Instead of reading all of them, I will give the court assistant to give them to you, so that if they are not experts, you can just release them. It will save the court's time. Secondly, Your Honor, in this business, I've looked at the charge sheet. The offense is being members of an organized criminal group. That is the main offense. And Your Honor, we have not been supplied with the list of names who are the Mungiki members. You know, when you say it's an illegal organization, you must give us the list of the illegal, the illegality. So they have not supplied us with any list of the alleged members. There is nothing. So we are fighting against air. We don't know what we are fighting against. There are other groups called Powerhouse, Baghdad Boys, Kisungu, depending on where you live in Kenya. And these groups are there. We don't know them, we've never seen them, but now they are being alleged, oh, you are a member of an illegal group. So what we want, Your Honor, is that can they supply us with more particulars, the list of members of Mungiki, so that we are able to know whether our clients, members of that group, illegal group, they have to let them give us a list. They have not given us anything. So, Your Honor, we play that the DPP is a serious office. By the time they bring you to court, there must be a prima facie case against you with the chances of success. But they cannot just rush to court to please somebody high up in the political radar. Your Honor, these politicians come and go. Their term is 5 years. After 5 years, we make another contract. And most likely the contract could be with another person. So, let people not develop an arrogant attitude as if they are kings. Kenya is not a kingdom. Kenya is a representative democracy. And every 5 years, we choose our leaders. And these people they are now calling Mungiki or illegal organization will choose the next leaders because they are the majority. and they will teach them the political lessons. Here we will speak without any fear of contradiction, because Kenya is a democracy. That is why the government in power, nobody thought it will win, but it won, and we respect it. Because that is a democracy.
It is a regime.
Yes, this is, I'm trying to say, I agree with you. So, Your Honor, what I'm saying is this.
Yes.
Our application is unchallenged.
Yes.
Issue summons to Gachagua. Let him come here. He's a subject of the law. Let him come and tell us what problem he has with other Kenyans when they associate, when they speak freely, when they do their business. When is Gachagua going to cook for us in our houses? Is he going to make our bedrooms for us? It is not possible. Because he's trying to supervise everybody. He cannot.
Very well.
So we rest our case.
Thank you.